It's a big news time for fans of The Handmaid's Tale as even more accurate and exciting details have been dropped about Season 5. Let's go over the release date, plot, and much more. Haunted looks. As expected, depressed facial expressions are something that's always in connection with the handmaids of the show, but with 2 new pictures released to tease the fans, it appears that things might get even more haunted than they had been in the past. In one of the photos, June appears vengeful like she has been in the previous 4 seasons, and fans are wondering what June will be up to in Season 5. Some fans have assumed that June's stares aren't just because of what she's suffered in the past, but because of a new villain. However, the synopsis released by the producers has hinted that June is definitely going to face the consequences of getting rid of Fred. What the fans don't know yet is if Serena will be part of June's consequences, as another picture released for the show features Serena in her mourning garment with a satisfying and wicked smile. The first looks into The Handmaid's Tale 5 has since continued to get many reactions as the fans have been promised many more dramatic twists. New cast. Well, it looks like most of the characters are returning to play their parts. June is still being played by Elizabeth Moss, and Yvonne Strahovski is coming back as Serena, along with the rest of the cast. One shake-up that might actually happen would be for the character Emily. Emily is portrayed by the actress Alexis Bledel, and she has humbly bowed out of the show. In her statement given via Variety, Alexis said, "After much thought, I felt I had to step away from The Handmaid's Tale at this time. I am forever grateful to Bruce Miller for writing such truthful and resonant scenes for Emily, and to Hulu, MGM, the cast, and the crew for their support." Although Alexis didn't reveal why she had chosen to drop out from the series, fans have begun to wonder what could have led the actress to make such decisions since her role was an important one. And she was nominated for Emmy Awards 4 times for every season of the show, and ended up winning one. It was a good thing she had going in the show, and fans are patiently expecting what the explanation would be for Emily's absence in Season 5. According to Bruce, even Fred, who's been gotten rid of, is going to keep appearing in Season 5, but in flashbacks. In his interview, he said, "I think we'll see Fred again. Joseph Fiennes, who played Fred, is more interested in getting the show to see more into the early days of his character." Joseph said, "I would love to see an episode where we delve back into the early days to examine the headiness and support that Fred provided Serena." Joseph would also like the fans to see that he wasn't always the villain, which happened by circumstance. The actor said, "Following how it went wrong would show the corrosive effects of power, especially when you have a weaker character like Fred, who hides beneath double-breasted jackets, political positions, and mahogany desks." The baby that Serena is expecting is also going to be a new addition to Season 5 of the show. The Handmaid's Tale 5 is going to feature a new cast member, Christine Coe. Christine is going to portray the character Lily, who's a strong lady that's powerful enough to become a trusted ally. And the fans are speculating that she might be fighting alongside June. The fans also believe that McKenna Grace, who plays Esther Keyes, might get the chance to have her character turn bigger in The Handmaid's Tale 5. The actress also didn't fail to support what the fans think, except that she thinks her character Esther can never be a new June. Grace said, "I feel like there's only one June, but there is a whole rebellion and there are all of these other girls. So there's one June, and I suppose there's one Esther as well. We'll see what she gets up to in the next season." Grace, who didn't let out much, relates her feelings about how she thinks Esther would play it big in Season 5. The actress said, "I have no clue, but I have hopes. I think she definitely can be part of this rebellion and the new generation of handmaids. She will cause quite a stir." The plot. Unlike what the fans have been told in the past, the show's creator Bruce Miller has finally gone further to give clues on what's going to happen in Season 5. The showrunner, who's usually keen on teasing the fans, gave a fact when he said The Handmaid's Tale 5 is something like the series Sophie's Choice for June. He explained the likeness by saying that it's similar, in that you're moving on with someone who's made these terrible choices. Bruce talked about the tight spot June has put herself in while speaking to Entertainment Weekly when he said, "Can we snap back to normal, or do we have to move on to something new?" And that's where June is right now. She's done this terrible thing, or what she feels like is irredeemable. Can she snap back? The showrunner, however, warns the fans to be wary of Serena, as she might get to confront June and make her pay for what she's done. Bruce explained how she thinks Gilead doesn't care that Fred is gone, but Serena isn't the type to let things slide, when he said, "I think that Gilead doesn't give a crap, but I think that Serena is the one you really have to worry about, or the one I am worried about." Bruce continued by saying even though Serena has mixed feelings about Fred, she still doesn't like to lose, despite how complicated her emotions might be. He ended his conversation by saying it's gonna be very interesting to see how she decides to come back. Although Bruce already gave away what fans should watch for, the official synopsis is also the same as the showrunner's hints. The synopsis, which already confirms that June has consequences to face, continues to point out that Serena would try to rise up as a person. It says, the widowed Serena attempts to raise her profile in Toronto as Gilead's influence creeps into Canada. The plot also mentions how Commander Lawrence would team up with Aunt Lydia in an attempt to change the power system in Gilead and also rise in power. Meanwhile, according to the synopsis, it appears that June, Luke, and Moira will still continue to fight Gilead together from a distance as they continue their mission to save and reunite with Hannah. The release date. The fans of the show haven't forgotten the promises of excitement that the cast and crew promised them about what to expect in Season 5 of The Handmaid's Tale. When Samira Wiley, who plays Moira, talked about how Season 4 ended and how Season 5 spells doom for June, she said, "We're picking up really exactly where we left off. Everyone who saw the season finale knows what happened with Commander Waterford, and so June, as always, is in a bit of trouble." Elizabeth Moss also couldn't keep it all in when doing the interview with TV Line. The actress teased when she said, "I will say that the season itself is possibly one of the wilder rides that we've had. We've definitely had some seasons where, a lot happens." The actress continued by saying that Season 5 of the award-winning show is even crazier than the past 4 seasons. She said, "Some seasons, not as much happens. I almost can't keep up with Season 5. And it's not lip service, I truly mean I almost can't keep up with the amount of activity that's happening." Some of the cast members like Anne Dowd and Yvonne Strahovski also made exciting comments about the upcoming season, and now the fans can be at peace knowing they'll be seeing The Handmaid's Tale 5 on their screen on September the 14th, 2022. The season will premiere with 2 episodes that will be followed by single episodes weekly on Hulu. Not the end. The showrunner isn't sure about making Season 5 the last time the fans see the show, and so he isn't able to give a definite answer to fans' continuous questions about when the show is ending. Bruce said he's been trying to reassess his position on when the show is ending based on how fast the real world is changing. He said, "So I know where I am in the story, and I do feel like we're kind of reaching a pivot point, but whether that's the end or not, I don't know. It just feels like it's a good time to reassess what you were thinking, just because the story world has opened up, because the real world has changed so much." It certainly looks like the reason why Bruce might not be so sure of how the show goes is because of how incredible his experience of working with the cast members has been. In Bruce's words, he said, "So I'm not so quick to say, let's just walk away. I don't know how you felt about the pandemic, but I certainly learned the things of my life that are pretty rare, and working with these people is one of them." Another important reason behind Bruce's ending of the show has to do with Elizabeth Moss. As long as Elizabeth is involved, then the fans can expect to always have The Handmaid's Tale. He said, "So honestly, yes, I know what the end is, and I'm not going to overstay my welcome, but I'm also not going to rush off if I don't have to, because as long as I'm writing for Elizabeth Moss, it doesn't really get much better." Having taken a first look, what do you think of The Handmaid's Tale 5, and what are your expectations before the release date? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching.